Did you know that your brain is changing every day? Not every year, not every month, but every day. And surprisingly, those changes often don't come from big decisions. They come from very small actions. Once, I'll pick up my phone right after waking up. Once, I'll make my bed. Once, I'll read a few more pages of a book. At first glance, they seem insignificant, but the brain thinks differently. Because the brain doesn't remember what you want to become. It remembers what you repeat every day. The first habit is mastering your morning. This is where your brain functions for the next few hours. Many people grab their phones the moment they open their eyes, even before they're fully awake. Notifications, messages, news, social media, everything flooding into my brain at once. You haven't yet mastered the new day. The new day has already begun to master you. Try a different approach. Dedicate the first few minutes to yourself. Make the bed, a very small action, but a signal of initiative. Drink a glass of water. Take a deep breath. Allow your brain to wake up naturally. Every time you start your day this way, your brain is learning something important. I am the leader. The second habit is to improve your ability to concentrate. In today's world, this may be the most valuable skill you possess. Every day, dozens of notifications appear. New message, new email, new video, new news. At first glance, they only take you a few seconds. But the brain doesn't measure in seconds. It measures in interruptions. Every time you switch from one task to another, your brain has to expend extra energy to get back on track. And that happens dozens of times a day. After a while, many people begin to believe they lack discipline. But in reality, they are simply practicing distraction every day. I once read about an office worker. He always felt incredibly busy, from morning till evening, constantly working, constantly answering messages, constantly checking emails. But at the end of the day, the most important task remained unfinished. One day, he decided to try something very small. He turned off all notifications for 2 hours. He focused on only one thing. The results surprised him. The amount of work he accomplished in those 2 hours was more than he had done in half a day previously. What changed wasn't ability. It was focus. And the brain began relearning how to work deeply. Interestingly, willpower is often not as strong as the environment. If the phone is always in front of you, your brain will always want to check it. So, instead of trying to fight temptation, make temptation harder to approach. Every time you do that, the brain is relearning the ability to focus deeply. It's like a muscle that is trained every day. I'm curious about something. What's distracting you the most right now? Phone? Social network? Or is it too much to handle at once? Please leave a comment below, because sometimes recognizing the problem is the first step to solving it. The third habit is to cultivate deep thinking, a skill that is increasingly rare in the modern. Have you ever felt like you watch a lot, but remember very little? You absorb a lot of information, but change very little? That's because the brain doesn't grow through the quantity of information. It grows through the depth of information. If every day you only consume short content, fast, continuously changing, the brain will get used to shallow thinking. But when you read more slowly, take more notes, and spend time reflecting, the brain begins to make deeper connections. You don't need to read a book every day, just a few pages. No need to take lots of notes, just an idea worth thinking about. Because of what you read today will gradually become the way you think tomorrow. The fourth habit is to pause before making a decision. It sounds simple, but this is a skill that can change your life. Many mistakes don't happen because we lack understanding, but because we react too quickly. An attractive item, a harsh remark, an unexpected decision. They all demand an immediate response from you. A friend of mine once told me he and a colleague had a huge argument via text message. While angry, he wrote a long reply, very long and very harsh. Luckily, before sending it, he put the phone down. He walked for about 15 minutes. When he came back, he deleted almost all of that message. A few days later, the two sat down and resolved things normally. He said, "Those 15 minutes may have saved a relationship of many years, but each time you know how to pause for a moment, your brain will have time to shift from emotion to reason. Want to buy something? Wait 24 hours. Angry? Take a deep breath before reacting. That small pause makes a huge difference. And finally, the fifth habit. Perhaps the most important. Create quiet time for your mind. We live in a world full of noise. Notifications, news, social media, pressure. But the brain isn't designed to work continuously. That's why you should give yourself small moments of quiet each day. A short walk, a meal without looking at a screen, a few minutes of sitting still and breathing. Michael Merzenich once demonstrated that the brain is constantly changing based on what we repeat. So, you don't need to change your life overnight. Start with a small action today. If you had to choose one of these 5 habits, which one would you start with? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if this video was helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to build a better life together one day at a time.